Thank you, Crystal, for taking the time to share your experience with WildFit, with the world, and really just help to give insight into the way that WildFit can really transform people's lives. So let's begin first by just giving us a peek at what life was like for you before you joined WildFit, and maybe tell us what made you give WildFit a try.
Yeah, I actually lived a pretty healthy life already, and I've been a coach over 20 years. So I was pretty self-aware as well. I have done also, of course, lots of detoxes and diet programs. And at times it felt like there is not a single program I haven't tried. So I was also very exhausted by being that serial detox or dieter, going from one to another, and nothing works. And I tried even different programs where you also actually you do training and you do menu and you do everything holistically at the same time, and nothing really stick for a long time. So for quite a while, I actually heard about WildFit, but many of the times, you know how it is when you're busy and it's like, oh, now is not the right time and now is not the right price or whatever, the excuses are. And then suddenly I jumped into Quantum Shift program, which Eric actually planned to do several months earlier in Estonia. And I actually even planned to be there, but because of COVID, it got postponed several times. And then he actually did it both live and online. So at the time I lived in San Diego, and the live event was actually recorded in Estonia, which meant that the event happened while, it was nighttime for me. So,
Okay.
but I tried
want
to
jump in real quick and just let everyone know that. So Eric, you're referring to Eric Edmeades,
yes,
the founder of WildFit, who also does several other programs to help transform people's lives in various ways. So
yeah,
great. Okay,
yeah.
so you started with his Quantum Shift program.
Yeah, so I did that, and it was very powerful. And it actually goes really holistically into the whole body and who we are, evolutionary, why we are, and the whole history of it as well. And now being also deeply infused with WildFit, and more of what Eric does also with the Speaker Nation and other programs, as you also mentioned, I know that Eric must be one of the best speakers in the world, because whatever class you're doing with him, you never get bored, because he has so many stories and they're so captivating. And he's also really telling them all in such a way that it's really easy to relate with that. And it's also very inviting to think along. So by one of the days, I think it must have been maybe the second day or something, he just threw out into the audience, okay, if we get 30 people interested in WildFit, we can throw out a very special offer for each one of you who you are here at the Quantum Shift. And then he actually did. And I jumped on board. Was like, okay, there is probably never the better time coming. The timing felt right. The price felt like, oh my God, amazing. And of course, I was just so excited. I didn't even think ahead, okay, Christmas is coming in 3 weeks. How is this going to even work? And so on. I was just so excited. And another thing, what was really interesting was that, Eric actually reminds me of one of the millionaires, a multimillionaire who I worked with in Mexico. And that relationship, I was actually co-creating a new business project with this person together. But it turned out that person was dependent on alcohol and drugs and so on. And it ended really badly. So when I saw Ferric first time in Estonia in 2015, he was part of the Success Academy's live event in Estonia. I was like, oh my God, if those two guys would be, at the same time on the stage, they would look like twins. And I
Oh my
couldn't
God.
like get it out of my head, like, oh my God, this monster is now talking this stuff here, you know. And I think literally, you know, the name also quantum shift, it was like, you know, bringing me this like, okay, this is like a bigger scale of you expanding, and you have to just like step out of your history or connections or whatever associations you have. So there was that side to that as well. So
Mhm.
usually when I do these kind of like big jumps, and it's also like quite a bit of monetary investment, I always, of course, also, you know, talk with my husband, and, you know, we discuss like, is this a good idea?
Mhm.
But here I actually felt that I don't want to do it. I want this to be just like my experiment. I know this will be good, and I want to just like go into it kind of like secretly, and then
Mhm.
we'll see like how it goes, and then look into the future. And so I jumped in. It started in the end of the November 2020. And, you know, the third week of the program was the week where, you know, one of the first really challenging things was like kind of, you know, going to a holiday in a program. And I was like, oh my God, what was I thinking? It's like Christmas. So I had to actually do my own experiment while being in this process to understand my relation to that particular food item or category. And that was like so valuable, because I think if it hadn't been Christmas time, I wouldn't have done it that way. I wouldn't have like discovered these like connections and stuff. And then
Mm.
the Christmas time was coming, and I was like, oh my God, this program is so good. I already understand like how it works, like psychologically and so on. That has been a missing part. I have to smuggle it into my husband somehow now. So it's like, okay, what would I do as a smart, you know, wife? So I was like, okay, Christmas is coming. So I talked to my coach and said, let's make a deal. I'll bring my husband on board to your next group, and then I will come as well. So to be sure that I can support him with everything what we go through, so that he can, you know, go through it with flying colors, so to say. And so that's what I did. So I gifted it to him as a Christmas present. And he was very pleased, because it started on the, I think it was like 4th of January. So it was like, oh, I wanted to do some health program anyway from January. So it worked out very well, was very well received. And then we jumped into it together as well. So I had my first program or challenge going, and then the second one was jumping like into it. So they were like going parallelly for a while.
Oh, wow.
So,
Okay.
and then my husband started to let go of so much extra weight, like in no time. I was really struggling, and that's usually what happens. Women, it's a slower process, and it's also evolutionary. We are made to, you know, carry children, so our bodies are made differently. So he was going and, you know, doing everything as the program was saying, and I was just so amazed that it's actually possible. And as we were going along, we started to like look younger. I even started to get to see my big, like the, you know, the whole facial like features, everything started to change. You know,
Mm.
the wrinkles started to disappear,
Wow.
and the energy, and I slept better, my skin changed, my hair changed. You know, there is like more of that spark in my eyes, and
Oh,
it
yeah.
was just
Yeah,
like,
even now you can see it. Your skin's
yeah,
just
yeah.
beautiful and
So everything started to change, and I started to like, you know, write everything down. I was like, oh my God, this is such an amazing program. I just, you know, it's amazing. My husband got into it, but now I'm a coach. I have to get it to my clients as well. So what can I do about it? And then Eric actually just started the next coaching training. And that's where I was like, okay, this is a no-brainer. I had worked with people as a life coach and, you know, energy ghost healer, mind pattern coach, like so many different layers. But what I discovered with WILDFIT was that, you know, when your basic foundation, which is the body and the biochemistry and food, which is like fueling your body, is out of whack and out of balance, whatever else you are building on top of it doesn't really work and doesn't really, you know, stick, because the foundation is off.
yes.
So I was thinking instantly like, oh my God, that's been the missing part. I've been looking into like nutritional therapists and coaches and so on, but nothing really stood out or really like, sparked the, desire or passion in me. But after those two WILDFIT challenges, I was like, wow, this is the thing. Seems also that people are so nice. I can get to be coached by Eric and also all of the master coaches. That's like a no-brainer. So I jumped in with you and many other, almost like I think over 100 coaches, one of the biggest groups there has been. So that was really amazing experience. And then going into doing our own, I call it a pilot group, and getting the experiences there, it has proven now that not only me, but what's the most like maybe amazing is to see that your clients go through a 3 months program. And as I was doing life coaching or other things, you can see, yes, people change, they have better lives, they make different choices, they may even get a new car, a new boyfriend, whatever. But now to see that their faces change, that they are lighter and, they look sexier, they can't get their eyes off themselves when they pass a mirror, they want to admire themselves, even like naked in front of the mirror. That's like huge, especially for women, because so many women are not really friends with their bodies or body image, myself included, prior the WILDFIT challenge. So suddenly going to the shop and realizing, oh my God, I have to buy jeans which are like 4 sizes like less than what I used to. And then I pull it on and I'm like, this can't be like real, like 4 sizes. That's quite a lot, right? So
It's amazing.
yeah,
Yeah.
so I don't know, it kind of turned into a long answer, but yeah.
No, that's perfect. You can, I love that your passion just radiates through your story. And I think that's perfect. That's exactly yeah, what I would love to, help you share with other people who might be debating or contemplating whether or not WildFit is the right choice for them. And I really love how you spoke to it being the foundation for everything else, and that it goes way beyond just the way that our body is able to function better optimally, and it goes into touching every aspect of our life. And I heard you say that now it brings confidence to people, and they can feel sexy, and they want to be naked in front of the mirror, whereas so often you just want to skirt by it, don't want to even look at your reflection in a store window. And so those little changes that I think most often are just taken for granted are just really powerful. And when they're stacked on top of each other, you look back and realize that you're on top of the world with everything. And so yeah, I love that you spoke to just the larger impact when you take care of your body. So yeah, so in what other ways do you think, and to that end, what other ways do you think it's changed your life outside of just having better skin and better health?
Yeah, I think one of the things also, because now I do seasonal eating, is also that I boost my growth hormone all the time, my immune
Mhm.
system, so on. So for that last year when I had practicing it, and also the first thing which actually has turned into my full lifestyle,
Mm.
I bet that if I would like take a test and make a test right now, my metabolic age must have gone down like at least 15 years or so.
Yeah.
So looking younger, going to my facial lady in Estonia who had not seen for 2 years. And she's like, oh my God, like, what cream are you using? Like all of your wrinkles are gone, like your skin is radiating. What's your secret? And I said, my secret is WILDFIT. That's my cream, so to say. And she couldn't believe it, because it was such a difference. And she's like, you were not really, I don't think or didn't consider you as big before, but oh my God, now you just look so good and so radiant and so on. So get that kind of like feedback from people who know you for a long time, and also like, you know, affirm that, wow, that the hard work you have gone through and the choices you're making like regular basis is really like paying off. That's like really cool. And the second thing, like a huge thing, was that, you know, when you're going through these new changes biochemically, you're making better choices. So that means that also many of the psychological, emotional, or psychosomatic connections, I saw them almost like, you know, little colonies of like card houses. They basically collapsed one by one. So meaning all of these things like I'm not enough, I'm not good enough, or I don't get what I want when I want it, or I'm so different, no one really includes me, or whatever. So those basic things basically went out of the window, because now when I look into the mirror, I'm like, wow, I look sexy, I rock, I am a smart girl, you know. And then, you know, there's no lie or no fake about it, because you just you see the truth, you see who you are, it's different. And then of course the outside world also confirms it. And as we were going also through it with my husband, what it did was also that, of course, I collapsed all of those card houses, and he did as well. So he did, of course, on his level and his, you know, issues and so on. But what it helped us to do is that as we were both going into also real estate investment, because my husband has worked with that for over like 20 years, but now he did also like another step to go into more like into like a wholesale or bigger projects like multi-family projects and so on. So we actually found a property in Texas here, which is like 98 units. We found also an amazing group of investors. And this project like seemed like impossible because it's like $4.5 million. And it was like, we didn't even know like if it's going to be real or anything, but we jumped into it. We were much more confident also in business world now. And then also because you are also doing different choices for your body, your productivity goes up, you're much clearer, your head is not like in a bag anymore. You also, you're much more to the point, and you also probably make different choices, like also having more quality time for like free time. And all of those things kind of got more into place. So we jumped into that deal. The deal went through nicely. It took some time, but then we realized that, okay, we need to also be there to support the whole project. There was like 8 apartments which needed to be basically renovated and rebuilt from the zero. So let's just actually move. So we moved from San Diego to Texas in the middle of the heat of the summer and in the middle of my pilot group and the whole thing. So we got here, and our apartment even wasn't yet ready. So we were kind of like in a transition land for some time. But now again, because of WILDFIT, I was so focused. I knew also how to, you know, support my body through such a stressful and big change as it is to, you know, change states and change, you know, your home and get everything moved, you know.
Yeah.
So, and from there, you know, also starting to build my WILDFIT business, also very much more like optimizing what can I do to do, like, you know, less of what I don't maybe like that much, and how can I bring in help, how can I automate things and so on. So all of these things, because your head is so much clearer, you start to see, and you start to see like the whole picture and your future and so on. So so I stepped like deeper into that and kind of made my directions very clear, and my husband jumped even into a bigger mastermind. You know, the previous one was also with one of the multimillionaires in Canada, And that was really successful. Like it is, we need to continue to learn all the time. And so then he jumped into the new mastermind, which cost like $50,000, you know. So it's also that you get more confident and more courage that, wow, you know, this is a new life, new lifestyle, new directions, new dreams. So by the end of this year, we plan to move to Florida because I call myself a mermaid and I need some ocean water next to me so that I can do my mermaid thing. And it just kind of helps me to be even more happier. And now put it together with WILDFIT as well. I can see, you know, even starting up with like WILDFIT retreats and stuff like that there. So there is lots kind of going and cooking, but also because now we take better care of our bodies, we can also take better care of our businesses and also each other. And when we moved here, we didn't even plan it, but actually there was a cat here who was like kind of coming with the property, and the cat kind of showed that it's kind of like loving us and liking us. So we adopted a cat as well. So on top of the all of the property thing, we also got the cat. So
very nice. Yeah. The best part of it all.
yeah, it was like a cherry on top.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, wow, that's an amazing journey that you just described. And yeah, I heard you touch on a lot of things, you know, you better relationships and um being able to take how you are and how you operate in one aspect of your life. I guess it speaks to the fact that the way we do one thing is the way we do everything. And so, you know, if we act in accordance or in alignment with what's best for us and, you know, way of health, we begin to do that in every area of our lives. And, you know, I heard you you know, say that it gives you confidence, not only about yourself and the way that you look, but also confidence in, you know, the decisions that you're making. And so that's beautiful. So thank you for sharing all of that. I really appreciate you unpacking all of that for us. And so what would you say if you could just leave the audience with just one thing that if they could take one thing away about WildFit, what would you want them to take away from this interview today?
I would say our life and our health starts with a choice. And whether it is the choice like, okay, what do I put into my basket when I'm grocery shopping? Or whether it is to jump into WildFit. And I realized while I was in WildFit, like choices, we have lots of choices every day. And you have those next 5 minutes, you can make the choice. And that choice can not only change your body, your mind, your spirit, but your whole life. As I was bringing here an example, you know, the business, abundance, you know, possibilities, they all expand. Like just as an example, my own coach actually, after just 1 year after the challenge, basically, you know, got a new apartment, got a new car, found his new fiance, and now is about to get married and get a new house, you know. So while we are making those choices which are supporting why we are here, and we are all here with amazing talents and treasures, and if we are full of so much crap because of we eating not really, you know, good sustainable food, then those talents are also suffocated underneath those things. So once we clarify and cleanse and detoxify all of that out, the real us can come out and shine. And then we can also like look into ourselves like, okay, why is it I'm here? The reason why we are here, it's a jackpot already. Like Eric says it all the time, like how many like million people had to meet so that you could like be born. And that's a huge like jackpot. So don't waste it. Make the choice which will make a difference for you. And then even if no one in your family will jump into it, the way you start to change your life and your choices will have a ripple effect. And then finally they will be pulled in because they see how much more happier you are, how much sexier you look, and all of the things which start to happen in your life. And they look at you and it's like, I want to have what she's having or what he's having. What are you having? And then you can say,
Mhm.
I'm having WILDFIT. Want to taste? Want to taste? And then they can jump into a 14 days taster, right? So it's very easy. So everything starts with the choice. And if it's for me to say, let that choice be WILDFIT.
Well said. Couldn't have said it better. So, I like that. Want to taste?
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Crystal, for taking the time to share your story, to share your experience, and to give us, a little peek into just how it transformed, how WildFit transformed your life on so many levels. I really appreciate it. So, thank you very much.
Thank you. It's so amazing to be here with you. And it's, I must also say that to be part of WildFit family has been an amazing experience. And you as a fellow coach also, I feel that this is one of the first times when I'm in a community of coaches or people who are in the same profession and everyone is pitching in, how can we do it better? Oh, I don't know how to do this, like, can you help me? And everyone is like stepping in. It is that real like Hawaiian, almost like the family ohana
Yeah.
concept, because you have the Hawaiian connection as well. So that's why we are here, to help each other and to understand we are all one. And that's another amazing thing which I really enjoy about WildFit, and that's such a amazing opportunity to share that experience with you and whoever is seeing this video. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that up. I do think that is one of the things that we miss out on in so many other programs that are out there, and I think WildFit has really nailed it on that. Is really yeah, taking and or I guess understanding that we as humans are very tribal creatures, and we thrive when we're in supportive communities, and that is one of the biggest components of this program, is being able to lean on each other for support, and and knowing that you're not alone in the journey. I think that is one of the things that most often comes as a deterrent in our efforts on our journey to transformation, is thinking that we have to do it alone, or that we're the only ones that are experiencing the challenges. So good point. Thank you for
Yeah.
noting that.
And I really like Eric has used this a lot to finish this up. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And
Yeah.
it's an African proverb, and there is so much truth into it. And I have been so delighted to see that that's actually a living truth, what we embody in WildFit. So if you also would like to jump into, even if it's just going through the challenge, it's a very tribal experience, because you are there with the group and you're there with the coach. That's like a really amazing combination.
Yes, absolutely. Well
Yeah.
said.
Thank
So,
you.
okay. Yeah, thank you. And for anyone watching, if you'd like to learn more, feel free to shoot a DM. So,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you again. Thank you.
Yeah.